So I've been getting some emails from you girls lately about your parents saying like, I don't like your boyfriend. And sometimes the reasons are very legitimate and sometimes the reasons are like, wait, really? Like that's your reason for not liking this guy? Like he's not cute enough? Or like some people, even their parents were like, he serves in church too much or stuff like that. And you girls are writing and saying like, is this a legitimate reason to not like a guy? Like how do I balance this? So we have 3 steps for you today to figure out what do I do if my parents don't like my boyfriend. So hey friends, my name's Tiffany. This is my husband James and our daughter Natalie. So Natalie, someday if we don't like your boyfriend, here's what you do. This is a little bit of a tricky question because it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna ignore what my parents say and just do what I wanna do, even when their concerns are very legitimate. But we've also seen relationships where the parents kind of are unhelpful, like their advice is actually damaging or hurtful or not in the best interest of the child, even if they think it is. And so this is a tricky situation. So we have 3 steps that we wanna share today.
And so step 1 to doing that is to listen. To find a time when you can really have a good conversation with your parents and understand as much as you can about why they don't like your boyfriend. Don't try to respond, don't try to defend him, just try to understand. Try to understand. Sometimes there's layers to, well, he's not attractive enough. Well, why is that important? You know, you can get to a lot of why and really then better understand what your parents' concerns are. Because sometimes words fail. People will say, well, he's not a hard enough worker. You might need to talk to them more to find out what they mean and why that might be a concern.
And like where they're seeing this.
And ask for specifics. If they say, well, he's mean or he's angry, ask them for specifics. That's so important.
And this could take a few conversations to really understand where they're coming from. But then you need to evaluate what they think. So step 2 is evaluate. And this is where we'd really encourage you to enlist the help of some other people, especially some adults you trust who are older and wiser, who you can go to and say, here's what my parents are seeing. These are their concerns. Are these concerns things that are really a big deal?
Yeah, and whenever possible, if it's someone who knows you a little bit, someone you can meet with in person.
And who knows the guy.
That's so helpful because the criticism might be because of where you are in life and who you are as a person.
This might not be a good fit.
Yeah.
Right, and so they need to know you, and it's helpful if they kind of know him too. Because there are times when you might think something's not a big deal, but someone who's older and wiser and has been there could say, no, like that might not seem like a big deal now, but that actually will really impact your life. Like money is an example like that. When you're young, you think, oh, my boyfriend and I, like it doesn't matter. We can live on anything, live on love. And while that's true, money is also a huge stressor in marriage. And so someone who's older and wiser can say, you know, maybe you need to really think about this a little more. So then the 3rd thing you want to do is decide. So if you're an adult, you're over 18, this is your choice to make. It's not your parents, it's not your mentors, it's only yours. You're the one who's gonna live with this choice and you have to own it, take ownership of your choices.
So for those of you who love God, who care about the Bible, you think, well, the Bible tells me I need to honor my father and mother. It's the 5th commandment. It's really important. And I would say that doing these things is honoring to your parents, especially if you're in like Tiffany was saying, you're over 18, you're becoming an adult, you're becoming your own person. You can't just blindly follow your parents for good or for bad. You know, part of being an adult is making your own decisions, but understanding where they're coming from and evaluating that seriously is honoring them. Even if you ultimately decide, you know, mom and dad, I disagree and I'm going to continue dating that person.
And you do that with respect and with kindness, but you don't have to do what they say to honor them. We have a whole video about that, how to honor your parents when you don't agree with them, and it's linked right up here, so you can check that out next. We love you girls and we'll see you there. Bye.